Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, the huge fight, the fight of the decade, coming up on July 29th. That'll be against Errol Spence, the truth, right? Versus Terence Crawford, Bud, right? So, yeah, it's supposed to be a huge fight, a big fight. But you're hearing contradictory things popping off, right? Because what I've heard of late is, you hear people talking about Terence Crawford resume. I've went in on that a couple of times. His resume is weak. So I don't know how we can have a fight of a decade if your resume is weak. If somebody's resume is weak, then it ain't supposed to be a fight of a decade. Then it's just a good damn fight. Then we can't have it both ways, right? Now, when it comes to Terence Crawford and his resume thing, I would just say, sometimes you probably ask, well, how does Trump still have followers, right? Well, obviously because he says racist things open to open, and there's a demand for that. If he wasn't doing that, there wouldn't be a demand. People would be realize that he's illiterate and all of it narcissistic and all of his qualities that obviously he shouldn't be anywhere close to the presidential amt, right? But because he says racist things, those people just can't, they can't help themselves, right? It's not the policies, people. But you wonder, how are people just getting brainwashed and do that? And just doesn't look and see, well, damn, well, this is what he's wrong. We can't have a criminal close to that. He's done this and this and this. And they still doing that, right? Followers, not leaders, not having your own objective opinion, basically. And so that's how I see this Terence Crawford and resume thing, right? Especially from people that I see that know boxing pretty well, and kind of just putting the narrative out there like he doesn't have a good resume. Well, the thing about that would be, how do you get number one pound for pound without a good resume? Being black, right? We know how Canelo did it. Canelo has Demetrius Andrades and Charlos there who've been in his divisions trying to fight him, right? And they were awesome, undefeated guys calling him out. Terence Crawford did not have that. At 135, he was the baddest one there. At 140, he became the baddest one there. No one there talking about they should fight him. Whether his resume is bad or not, all those people he fought, the Derry Janes, the Thomas Delormes and stuff, who only won losses, and all those guys, Hank Lundy's and them, who had a few losses, whatever, all that stuff he was doing back there, there's no fights that he has to readdress. There's distance between all of them. Till today, Terence Crawford has not had one fight that he has to readdress. Distance, Mayweather-esque type things that he's doing on. So he was number one pound for pound before reaching the welterweight division, right? Another feather in his cap that I keep mentioning, Manny Pacquiao and his team never wanted him to fight him because they were scared, which means that goes on his resume. Get it in your head. Manny Pacquiao won't fight him because they were scared of his well-being. But they would fight Errol Spence because he's slow and they thought they can beat him. That's documented. So that's in Terence Crawford's, that's a part of his resume, guys. So I don't know, he doesn't have to address anything. All these fighters that he fought back then. And here's one for you. Just Victor Postal alone at 140. Victor Postal, just him. Now let's go to Errol Spence's resume. Who are we putting in front of Victor Postal? Because we got to just, you got to decide. Who are we putting in front of Victor Postal? We sure as hell ain't putting Jordanis Ugas above Victor Postal. Victor Postal was undefeated. Just coming off of beating Lucas Matisse. Right? Lucas Matisse, the same Lucas Matisse that gave Danny Garcia all he can handle. Right? Victor Postal's the guy that everyone said that Danny Garcia was running away, running up to 147 to avoid. So we got to at least put Victor Postal on Danny Garcia's level, right? At least that. So who are we putting above Victor Postal on Errol Spence's resume? Because we can't put Sean Porter above him, because Sean Porter is a fight that Errol Spence needs to readdress. There's no distance there. That was a very close fight. Without the knockdown, I don't know if that went that way. So it's only between Kell Brook and Danny Garcia. We can't put Lamont Peterson in front of Victor Postal. You see what I'm saying? We can't put Danny Garcia just in front of Victor Postal. And y'all know I roll with Danny Garcia. Period. I've never been against Danny Garcia in any fight up until now. Ever. So that's just, I think the guy's underestimated. He's better than people, give him credit for. And he's just a good fighter. I'm just roll with him. Period. But I'm just not going to categorically put him in front of Victor Postal without them fighting. I saw what he had to do to get past Lucas Matisse, and I saw what Victor Postal did to Lucas Matisse. Undefeated and got beat with distance from Terence Crawford. We're just going to put everybody in front of that. And here's another thing. Errol Spence has been bigger, same size or bigger than everybody he's fighting. Terence Crawford hasn't. So the resume thing, just Victor Postal alone, what we going to do there? Then I just did a video about Julius Ndungo about a week ago. I ain't going to even go there because we know he went to beat Troy Anowski and Ricky Burns and then came to Nebraska to try to beat Terence Crawford. He just didn't do it. But he was feeling himself and went to two people's homes to get those two other belts. So we just don't categorically put people in front of him. Now, Errol Spence fought everybody at the PBC. He just fought one at Kell Brook that wasn't there. Everybody else was there. We just now just put people in front of other people. Because I ain't got Udenis Ugas in front of Kavalikas. I don't. Not without them fighting. Udenis Ugas was 29 and like 12 with 4K, with 29 and 4 with 12 KOs. Right? Danny Garcia is probably the best win, unless you go with Kell Brook or Danny Garcia. Because there was a little distance there with Errol Spence. So I don't think we want to, I think Errol Spence's resume is good too, but it's not better than Terence Crawford's. Because Terence Crawford was #1 pound before he got to 147, and getting to 147, I ain't putting nobody in front of Jeff Horn. Just because, why? Jeff Horn beat Pacquiao earlier than Ugas did. Most of the time, the guy who beats him earlier beat him, a fresher one. That's how we normally, the arguments we say. The fresher one, he beat him a few years earlier. He wasn't as fresh. He beat a fresh Manny Pacquiao, and he beat him. People tried it because they went back and scored it again. You can't ask people to look for more than 12. They looked at that 24 rounds, looked at it again, and they still gave it to Jeff Horn. Right? Jose Benavidez, undefeated. We're just going to just give that to say everybody's better than him because they're at the PBC? Seriously? Right? I just said Kavalikas. I fought Kell Brook too. All that stuff, nothing mean nothing. And Sean Porter is supposed to be totally washed up when he fought him. Stopped him. No, resume's good enough. But hey, if not, then we can't have a fight of the ages. If not, we can't have Terence Crawford being the favorite in most cases. Now, Errol Spence did have a car accident, came back, handled his business against Danny Garcia. This is valiant. Both of these guys are awesome, is what I'm trying to say. And don't let nobody force you into believing some crap, right? Have your own mind. There's no way that you can watch boxing and watch all these fighters over the years and then see what Terence Crawford done and act like that's nothing. That's impossible. You're paid or something else is going on. That's impossible. Ain't no way that can happen. I'll tell you why. I'm showing you. When I saw Terence Crawford, I'm going for the other dude he fighting. When he fought Yordenis Gamboa, Yuriorkis Gamboa, I'm going for Gamboa all day. Like, man, Gamboa gonna be smaller than this dude, but Gamboa's all that. The Cuban dude, bad, moving up in weight. So I'm going Gamboa. I'm like, damn, Gamboa's in there with this dude, but this dude's bad. Damn. And then I started paying attention to what Terence Crawford was doing after beating Gamboa, and it was like, he would, just respect. Most of these guys, you don't go for them right away, unless you're from their hometown. They garner your respect. They get your respect through years of watching them, and it's like, damn, okay, whatever, this dude's bad. Damn, this dude did this. That's Terence Crawford has earned respect, and he's bottom line. That's what he did amongst the whole boxing world, and no one else says that you're going to hurt Manny Pacquiao, except for Terence Crawford. And everybody, Teddy Atlas, Stephen A. Smith, all on mainstream media, no, Pacquiao, leave him alone. They don't say that about anybody else. That's a feather in your cap. That's resume, people. So yes, because of those reasons, the fight is huge. Fight's not just huge because of Errol Spence. Errol Spence is like number 4 pound for pound. Yeah, I've never seen Errol Spence number 1 pound for pound anywhere. They're both top 5. Terence Crawford has been one and in the one argument for about 8 years now. And he's definitely got something to do with this fight being called the fight of the decade. So don't let nobody ever tell you that his resume is weak, because you know how many good fighters you're saying is weak. And before you do that, just go. You guys know what we go find box rec or whatever. I do this off the dome, but I'm saying just go look at doc rec. Go look at those fights and then look at the lead up to them. Don't let nobody tell you nothing. Even like a Thomas DeLorme. Why we just gonna act like that's nothing? Thierry Jean, no, nothing. Indungo, Postal, all this stuff at 140. We gonna act like it was nothing. No, don't let nobody tell you that. Wake up, people. Have your own mind, right? Don't do what everybody does. Do what's right. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm about here, y'all.